Okay, guys. So, I wasn't gonna make a video, but I decided to go ahead and make a video anyways about this whole Kandi and Porsha mess, because that's exactly what it is at this very point in time. Now, I just got off work. I came, got out of my clothes, had to get in my flannels to get comfortable. Okay, here's the thing. Anybody that knows me knows how I feel about Kandi. I think that she's messy as fuck. I think that Kandi is jealous as hell of Porsha. And the thing that has always gotten her by is the fact that she hides behind this big Kool-Aid smile and this whole, you know what I'm saying, all about my money. I count my checks and my blessings. Girl, bye. You are so jealous of Porsha at this point. And I don't, you know what? I think the main thing that bothers me is that I feel like she sees that Porsha has moved on into a place of happiness. And that's a place that she doesn't feel like Porsha deserves. You know, after everything that went down between them, yes, I do believe that her and Porsha may have had some little fling of some sort at some point in time. Yes, I do believe that she has crushed on Porsha. Yes, I do believe that her and Todd have done something together with Porsha. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. But I do feel like something has gone down at some point in time. Last season, you know, they decided to, I guess, they got into it. They decided to move forward this season, and you know what ticked me off last season was the fact that they invited Porsha to the opening or whatever it was that Kandi had going on. And when she said, I wanted you to see this greatness, bitch, you can't even sing. Okay, you can't sing. You sound terrible. And as much as people like to say things like she counted her money, she counted her checks, let me tell you something. As an artist, the one thing that you don't want to hear over and over again on a consistent basis is the fact that the thing that is supposed to be your biggest talent is actually the thing that you're really not good at. Like that, for an artist, it kills them. It really does. And I do believe that her hearing this over and over again, it has killed her confidence. Hence the reason why in that one episode where her and old girl, not Shamia, whatever her name is, when they had that sing off, that's the reason why Kandi was so scared and she was so nervous and she was practicing the way that she was so rigorously, because she knew that her vocals are trash, and they have been trash since the beginning of time, since Escape. Now, let's get to this Porsha and Kandi thing. The thing that really completely ticked me off was this right here. I do believe that they are trying to use this whole Porsha has an explosive attitude against Porsha. And at no point in time does that mean that I'm going to stop being explosive just so that you guys can see me in a different light. Porsha has been explosive in the past, and you know, rightfully so. That's just like when her and Kenya got into it. Kenya followed her out of the restaurant, and you guys expected her to not say anything. And Porsha is sitting there like, I'm not going to give her what she wants. I would have wore that bitch out. I would have aired that hoe out. You know why? Because I am not about to allow you to disrespect me, and then you point the finger at me and say, she's the aggressor. She's the one that has the problem, and I'm supposed to just be, you know, this calm person who allows you to keep on poking at me and poking at me. With this situation with Porsha and Kandi, the thing that is so hilarious is the fact that Kandi has no clue that Porsha is pregnant. Kandi is going off of past experiences with Porsha blowing up and Porsha being the aggressor. She's going off of these past experiences, so much so that she honestly does believe that Porsha was kicked out of Todd's party. Rightfully so is how she feels. Her being kicked out was justified, and it was not. Not only was she kicked out of the party, Kandi never called to check on her friend, even when her friend Or, you know, maybe they're not friends. Maybe, you know, they're trying to mend the relationship or whatever the case may be. You didn't even take into consideration what she was saying. So that leads me to believe that you don't really want a friendship with her at all. And if that's the case, that's okay. But don't be fake with me. So Porsha's thing is, I tried to contact you. I tried to talk to you. You blew me off. You never called me again. Jami decides to come by the candy factory or whatever the hell that shit is called and sit around with Kandi and her friends and be messy as hell. And the whole story just sounded so fake, so made up, and so just false. The whole thing sounded false. First of all, I understand there, you know, people are extremely bold. Okay? They are extremely bold. I get that. But to insinuate that Dennis was so bold enough to grab his ex by the arm while his current pregnant girlfriend, now fiance, is standing right there. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Do you really think that he would be that bold knowing that me and Porsha, you know, have had these conversations where she's had to tell me how she's had to defend my name to Kandi over and over and over again about this girlfriend, this ex-girlfriend that I've had? Am I really going to grab this same girl in front of Porsha? Is that same ex-girlfriend going to be bold enough to kiss this man in front of his girlfriend, that she didn't know was pregnant, but in front of his girlfriend, now fiance? Ask yourself that question. I understand being bold. I understand not caring. But you are not about to sit here and tell me that that is what went down. Because you could try to sell me that story, but I ain't buying it. So, Jami, you know, work on your sales pitch, because I'm not buying that. Okay. So while she's sitting here delivering this story to Kandi, Don Juan, and Karma, they sitting here talking, and Kandi is just eating it up. She eating it up. She eating it up with a fat ass, because the reason why she's eating it up is because in her mind, it solidifies this story that she has of Dennis being such a cheater, because she wants to be able to go back and take this to Porsha and say, I tried to tell you that he was still messing with somebody else. And I just don't find it to be facts. Okay. So Jami then goes along to say that Porsha ends up getting aggressive and that her friend is walking away and Porsha is chasing up behind her, chest bumping her. Listen, I do believe that Porsha has a streak in her where she can be aggressive or she can fly off the handle. We've seen it. We know that to be true. But one thing that we also know to be true is the fact that Porsha has wanted to have a baby for how long now? Since the very first season that she's appeared on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Porsha has wanted to have a baby. And when you have a person that is that passionate about, you know, becoming a mother, when they do find out that they're pregnant, especially a person who's been through a miscarriage, they want to at all costs protect not only themselves, but their unborn child. I in no way, shape, fashion, or form believe that Porsha, knowing that she is pregnant, sat there and chased up behind this female and chest bumped her consistently over and over again, trying to entice this girl to fight with her. I do not for a second believe that Dennis sat back and watched his pregnant girlfriend, knowing that she's pregnant, I do not believe that he sat back and watched her chest bump this female over and over, trying to, incite this fight. You are not going to make me believe this. However, it's easy for Kandi to believe it because A, she doesn't know that Porsha is pregnant, and B, she wants to find fault in Porsha in any way, shape, fashion, or form. And she wants to find some slither of hope that there is a break in this relationship because she doesn't want Porsha to have a relationship. That's the real thing. So they're sitting here telling this story, and they're going back and forth between Porsha's story and Kandi's story, or Jami's story. And Porsha is saying how, the whole thing happened, and next thing you know, security comes over and they're escorting Porsha out. Before I would have left, that bag that had, I believe it was a Neiman Marcus bag, with that gift that I got for Todd, it would have been in hand, or you guys would have had to throw that hoe right on out the door when you threw me out that door. Okay, I would have got that gift back. Now, at this point in time, Porsha, I think, did the right thing by announcing to Nene and Cynthia that she's pregnant. Because had she not done that, had she not told them that she was pregnant, Cynthia and Nene definitely would have went off of past experiences with Porsha and definitely said, I know that she did this. I know for a fact that she was the aggressor in this situation. So Porsha goes on to tell Nene and to tell Cynthia that she's pregnant. And now that they know this bit of information, they're turning a side eye to Kandi like, well, Kandi, since y'all are, trying to rebuild your friendship and things like that, why would you not call her? Why would you not? Why would you not call her and say, hey, Porsha, let me know what your side of the story is? Instead, the blogs got wind of this fight that supposedly happened, and they are dragging Porsha through the mud, all based off of the person that Porsha has been in the past. So, when they meet up at Tanya's house, they go over there to have drinks and cocktails and, things like this. And at this point, nobody knows about the pregnancy except for Nene and Cynthia. They get over there, they're talking, and Cynthia says to Kandi, you were wrong. Kandi immediately goes into defense mode, and at that point is telling Cynthia what happened as if she was there when it happened. You were not. So you should have said what I heard was, but you didn't. Instead, you're stating that, she was being aggressive. She was following so and such out the party and things like that when you saw none of it go down. Nothing. You went off a hearsay. And that is the reason why I truly do believe that you and your whole entire crew, you guys are hell-bent on ruining Porsha at any way, shape, fashion, or form. And it's sad that you don't want to see this female or this woman grow or have certain things. Now, if you would think that when Kandi was dating Todd and everybody was questioning and everybody was doing this and everybody, the way that it made Kandi feel, you would think that she wouldn't want to do that to somebody else. For me, if I went through all of that with anybody, for my friend, I would want to know and make sure that the intentions of the person that they're dating are good. But even though I want to do all of that, I'm not going to make it a thing of every day me and you are having a conversation of me giving you or feeding you more information that is hearsay off the streets or whatever, to try to get you to feel a different way about him just so that, you're no longer feeling him and you gonna let him go. Because if she do let Dennis go, then what? Then what? And the thing about it is even if her and Dennis don't work out, so what? all relationships aren't made to work. They're just not. And instead of trying to think ahead to the future and figure out whether or not they're going to have such this great future and things like that, let Porsha live in the moment right now. Because as of right now, Porsha is happy. Porsha is getting what she's always wanted. Let her have that now. And if things turn or take a turn for the worse, like they have in everybody else's life before, if they do take a turn for the worse or whatever, help her through it. That's what you do as a friend. So while they're sitting over there at Tanya's house and they're talking about this whole situation, Porsha finally pulls up. Tanya's like, do you want to drink now or you want to drink later? Porsha is like, okay, so, obviously it's some tea being spilled out here. Let me go ahead and carry myself on my big booty ass on up out here. So Porsha heads on out there to the patio area where all the ladies are sitting and they're discussing what's going on. And Porsha hugged everybody, skipped right over Kandi, as she should have. The look on Kandi's face was hilarious. It was comical because at this point, Kandi is looking like, that face of, did she really just skip over me? Did she really just not speak? Was she really just not cordial to me? Like, okay. And I was here for it, Porsha. All day. Hands down, I was here for it because you did exactly what you were supposed to do. Ain't nobody got time for this fake shit, bitch. You have been on, this kick of trying to ruin my relationship, ruin my reputation, ruin any bit of happiness that I seem to have in this season. You have done nothing except for try to take that away from me or snatch that away from me. And you know what, bitch, you're canceled. And I'm glad Porsha did that. So she goes, she sits down, they get to talking. And she's trying to explain to Kandi that the reason why I called you was because I was wrongfully kicked out of your party. And you didn't even check. Kandi's thing is, if you were the aggressor, and Portia's like, I wasn't the aggressor. Like, I didn't feel like I was the aggressor. And she's like, I'm trying to make sure that my man had a good party and I didn't have time for the drama with this person who, can't control themselves and can't control their attitude and things like that. You could have still had a good party and checked on your so-called homegirl at the same time. That's just the way that I feel. And even if you couldn't do that, you could have caught her in a timely manner after the situation and said, okay, tell me what's going on, before the blogs got hold of some false story of Porsha being the aggressor. Y'all, this piece of hair is getting on my nerves. All of my hair is getting on my nerves. But anyway, so Porsha is trying to tell Kandi without telling Kandi that that's not what happened. She can't tell her right now that she's pregnant. So Kandi is really going off of this whole story of, you followed her when she tried to walk away. And Porsha was like, that never happened. Like, I didn't do this. Cynthia and Nene sitting there knowing that Porsha is pregnant. They cannot stick up for Kandi in that story that she has been fed by that lying ass wench Jami. They just can't stick up for her. And it's so funny because you could see it in their face. Like, how do we tell this story without outing Porsha and this pregnancy? How do we tell Kandi, like, you're wrong because this is the reason why you're wrong? We can't do that, but we have to keep to Porsha and make sure that she's okay. Now, the thing that tickles me pink, okay, is that when a female is pregnant on these TV shows, the one thing that they always holler is, we don't want you to be upset. We don't want you to get upset, this, that, and the third. I'm going to tell you like this. I got 2 kids. I done been upset plenty of damn times. I understand that everybody is different. and things like that. But having an argument with somebody is not going to send your pregnancy in a downward spiral. I'm sorry, it's not. And I felt like them trying to calm Porsha to keep her from saying anything to Kandi was just kind of like, let her say what she needs to say. Just let her get it out. When she called Kandi a bitch, you know, Kandi got all, who are you calling a bitch? And Porsha was like, you bitch, like you're the one that I'm talking to. And, you know, Kandi wants to go off on the same thing of, you don't know how to control yourself. Cut it. You don't know how to control yourself. You don't know how to control yourself. So I'm going to leave because you don't know how to, you know. Kandi, I really want you to admit that you are crushing on Porsha so goddamn hard that it kills you. I want you to admit that you really just don't want Porsha to be happy in a marriage, and you don't want Porsha to have anything that you feel like she does not deserve, what you feel like she doesn't deserve. And that is the reason why you continue to try to bring her all of this bad information about the guy that she's dating. Just admit it, bitch. You were caught up without even knowing that you were caught up, because you're sitting here trying to make it seem like this woman was fighting your friend and you didn't even see the damn fight. You didn't even see the altercation. You saw nothing. You went off of hearsay from a bitch who she fought already. This girl, why? And that's another thing. Why would you all of a sudden, why is she your assistant now? I'm trying to figure out. The person that is your enemy, her old assistant is now your assistant, and y'all don't like each other. You and Porsha don't like each other, and her old assistant is your assistant. Okay. And if I'm going to get some information about somebody from anybody, it's definitely not going to be from a person that they have had it out with. Like, come on, Kandi. Like, you're too old to not know. Like, come on. You're just too old to not know that, of course, she doesn't have anything nice to say about Porsha. Porsha got on top of her and mollywopped her ass. Why would she say anything good about Porsha? They no longer have a friendship or relationship or anything like that. Had it came from somebody who knew Porsha and was okay with Porsha and called you and said, Kandi, this is what happened, okay, I would take that. But to take it from her enemy, come on. And to not even use, you know, your brain enough to deduce the fact that this girl don't have nothing good to say about Porsha, so maybe I shouldn't really listen to this story. And to not know, I know for a fact ain't no woman gonna kiss my ex in front of my face. I know they not gonna do that. To not know that your man is not gonna grab his ex in front of your face. Like, come on. You mean to tell me none of that ran through your head? You know why it didn't run through your head, Kandi? It didn't run through your head because you want that shit to be so true, because you want it to be a bad situation for Porsha, and it's just not, Kandi. It's not. You owe that girl an apology. Like, straight up. You owe her an apology. To continue to go out here and put this story out that you didn't even know about in the first place because you weren't there. And you need to get rid of Jami. And who was it? Oh gosh, I can't think of his name. He did a video and he basically said Jami deserves a peach. How? Why? Where? What has she done to deserve a peach? Except for bring false accusations and lies and shit like that to Kandi. To come sit down in this candy factory and lie with a straight face. She doesn't deserve a peach. She needs to go away immediately. She got her ass beat. That was all the time on television that she needed. She has nothing to offer, nothing to bring. And Kandi and her whole camp need to leave Porsha alone and allow Porsha to have the same happiness that they all claim that they have. Kandi, if you so happy with Todd, and you so happy with Todd and you know, y'all sex life, and y'all just did a dungeon party or whatever it was, you made money, you capitalized off of the rumors and things like that. If y'all so happy, don't worry about that girl relationship so hard. Don't just don't worry about your own. Okay, worry about making sure that yours is good. You trying to have another baby. Riley done already pretty much told you like that don't need to happen because you already ain't here enough for me or Ace. But focus on that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of focusing on the relationship of a female who you really just don't even like. And just be honest and stand up in that truth and say, I don't care for Porsha. That's what I want. So Kandi, yeah, you were caught up in some bullshit. And hopefully now people will see that you a fake bitch. And you've been a fake bitch. And hopefully they not going to let that big, cheesy ass, shut tooth smile that you have fool them any longer. You can't sing, but you can write your ass off. You a good writer. Stick to doing things like that and leave Porsha alone. I'm team Porsha all day long. Who said that? So, I mean, drop down in the comments and tell me what you think. If you agree, you disagree, you feel like Porsha was in the wrong or anything that I said was wrong, I'm here for it. I just want to hear, because I'm sorry, y'all. I'm team Porsha all day. Fuck Kandi. Bye.